Welcome to the Coffee Run Live. It is I, Nicola Moras, welcoming you into my cozy little office. It's really cold outside today. I've got a sweater on. Check it out though. Best sweater ever. I love it. So some of the things that I wanted to talk with you about today are just, I guess, like sharing a little bit of the process that I went through this morning. It's been kind of interesting. You know, I've been talking to many clients who are doing all kinds of things to keep the lights on, to keep servicing clients, to get new people, running their courses, marketing, doing all of that kind of stuff. And I guess one of the things that kind of came up for me was it took a little bit today in my journaling practice, which, you know, I do most days, took a little bit to kind of find the thing that I felt like, yes, this is the thing that I need to share. And I think what's interesting about that is that when you're someone who is used to having the messages come through, you know, thick and fast, and what you're going to share come through thick and fast, it can be really quite fucking annoying, to be honest, when things don't land in your lap, perhaps at the same time as the same speed as what you're really used to. And I suppose one of the things that I wanted to remind you of is that with frequency of doing something, the speed in which those conduits start to myelinate happen a lot faster. So journaling for me today, I was like, what am I going to talk about? And then blah, blah, blah. And it all felt really boring. It was just like, oh my God, like I don't want to talk about fucking COVID. I don't want to talk about, you know, marketing as such. I don't want to talk about, like the surface stuff. What I wrote is like, what do you feel like when you've only got the surface stuff to share, you know? And I think it was a really interesting reminder for me because, you know, I like to think big. I like to really help you guys in a really big way, right? And one of the things that I find is that usually I can come up with something through my journaling or just in the top of my head. It's like, yeah, this is the exact thing that you need to share. And yet other days, like this morning, I'm like, oh my God, this is really, you know, this is a bit rough. This is a bit tough for me today. And what I felt like I wanted to remind you guys of is that sometimes the stuff that is not always groundbreaking or earth-shattering is actually the most important things that you can share. So I actually wrote 3 things down today that I really just wanted to say to you. And I think that this is really powerful actually, because we are so entrenched in our own stuff. We know that we've got this layer of doing things, and then there's this layer, then this layer, then this layer, then this layer, then this layer. There's like 25,000 layers to what it is that you do, right? And then the depth of what you discuss and what you go through will vary depending on who it is that you're talking to. But sometimes in your marketing, the things that are really, really powerful can be just simplifying your stuff. Right? So the 3 things that I wrote down was simplify your stuff, make it easy, and make it accessible. So it's a little bit like I've got on Thursday, I decided yesterday to run a masterclass on keep the motherfucking lights on. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to work through your cash flow. We're going to work through your business expenses. We're going to basically manage your money so that you can actually keep the lights on and stay in business. I was talking to a client this morning on our 6 a.m. call, which I'm so grateful that we're doing. Again, you know, it helps me, and I know it helps my clients as well, and in a really big way. You know, it starts your day on the right foot. But what I said to her, I said, can you please, you know, collate and collect some data, because people like to know that they're not alone. And this is the other key thing I wanted to share with you guys today, because, you know, we're all trying our darndest to navigate and get through all of this. And sometimes if we're feeling like, oh fuck, I've got nothing to say, you can feel like the freak sitting over in the corner of the room, like everybody else has all got their shit together, and it's not necessarily true. You might be sitting there thinking like, how the fuck are these assholes, these bastards, these amazing people, these wicked ass humans, you know, how are they out there still making money? You know, how are they doing that? I feel like a freak because I can't. You know, maybe you're sitting there thinking, oh, you know what, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to show up in times like these. And you think that it's all just you, and it's not. And I think one of the biggest gifts that you can give to your audience is to remind them that they are not alone either. We want to somewhat normalize the experience that they're going through for them. So collate and collect some data. So one of the things that a lot of you have got the blessing of is that you've got clients at the moment, and some of you don't, and that's okay. There's more coming. But some of you who have got clients, whether you're seeing, maybe you're an allied health professional or a mental health professional or a coach or, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're talking to people right now, what I would be doing if I were you is documenting, if you're not already, document the things that are coming up for people. What are people saying to you? Because what all of my clients, what they're saying to me is that everything's quite overwhelming. They're really busy. And, that they don't know how to, what do I do? What's one thing that I can do today, Nicola? And so I'm like, again, simplify it, make it easy, make it accessible. So just do this one thing. We'll talk tomorrow about what the one thing is that you can do tomorrow. But if every day you're doing just one thing, and if you're helping your audience with just one thing, then you're helping them to take a step forward, ultimately towards the life that they want, the results that they want, the career they want, like whatever it is that you help people with, it helps them to take one step. And that's really freaking important. One step for one person today could be the difference between them, literally and figuratively, sitting in a corner and rocking or not getting out of bed or, whatever the case might be. So simplify, make it easy, make it accessible. So one of the things that I wanted you to, that I've written down is that, all right, what are you going to commit to? Hey, Amanda. Hey, Tony. Hey, Myrna. Great to see you guys. What's one thing that you can commit to for you? Just one thing for today. And it might be that you get out there and do a live stream. It might be that you write a blog. It might be that you think of one thing that you can do to help your audience create some sense of clarity and normalcy, because that's what we're all seeking, right? Think about it. We're all driven to look for certainty. We're all driven to look for patterns, where we're all driven to look for things that help us to feel safe. And one of the things that makes most people feel safe is knowing that they are not a freak of nature. Or it's okay to be a freak of nature. Over here with the other freaks of nature, right? I'm really happy to be a freak of nature. And I also know that there are other people out there like me who are also freaks, which kind of makes us almost normal, if you know what I mean. But you get it, right? People want to know that they are not the only ones. So if you can start to share, and I know that some of you are going to be across this already, but what I want you to do is make a list of the things that people present to you with, right? So it could be that they're showing up with anxiety. It could be showing up with stress, overwhelm, fear, just really scared about what the future holds, like all of this uncertainty. And then what's underlying that for them? Make a note of that. And then what you'll start to see is that perhaps 90% of your clients are presenting with anxiety and stress and overwhelm. Maybe 50% of your clients are having issues with their children or their partners or communication or lack of communication or trying to just, I've got all of this time now, what the fuck do I do? So if you can get some data and get some statistics based on your client level, then you can start to talk about that in your marketing as well, right? And in your posts and in your live streams. So for instance, I would say that 99, and I say 99% because it's not every single one of them. I can't say categorically and it's not a statistical number, but I can say that 99% of my clients right now are busy dealing with their clients, their customers, their marketing, they're really focused. Right? I can also say to you that probably half of them are learning a lot of new skills with how to deliver, whether it's delivering online, whether it's changing their marketing, whether it's changing their messaging. 50% of them are having to really change and shift things up. The other half are, going really well, right? So gather some data. Start sharing that, because when people see, oh, look, half of people are like spinning their wheels and whatever, then, that makes me not feel like so much shit, right? Tani, gotta love this energy. Gotta run, but I love this energy. We'll watch back. No worries at all. Off to do the one thing. Excellent. Go do that one thing, my friend. I love it. So the thing with data is it helps people to make sense of things, right? If I was to say 50% of my clients start their day exercising, they start their day journaling, and then they get into their coffee, then we can assume that if you started doing that, or like say 70% of my people probably do that, then you might assume that that would be a really great thing to test and to try if you're looking for more motivation, if you're looking for more inspiration, if you're looking for more consistency, clarity, focus. You know, the overwhelming thing that my clients have been in touch with me more in the last 2 weeks than ever before for a multitude of different reasons. And the thing that they all have said that they want from me is structure. So 100% of people, 100% of my clients want more structure. They just want that one thing though that they can focus on, right? So it's why we created Maven's Morning. So Maven's plus J, the morning routine. It's why I've looked at these different things so that we can go, all right, what is it that we can do to make things really simple, to make it easy, and to make it accessible. So they're the 3 things that I want to leave you with today. Simplify your stuff, make it easy, and make it accessible for people. Okay, now, the other thing I wanted to let you know, we've still got all access open. So if you need help with your money mindset, with your funnels, with marketing, with setting up the technology, I know a lot of you have got a lot more time on your hands and you may not have the the financial resources to go and outsource it or the inclination to go and do that either. So for $99 a month, and you can stay for 1 month if you want, $99 a month, you can jump in on All Access. So that's a really great place for you to jump in if you need some training. I've also decided yesterday to launch a weekly masterclass. I don't know how long we'll do the weekly for, but this week it's on Keep the Motherfucking Lights On. So if you're in business and you want to keep making money, then that's great. We've got to know your numbers. So I'm going to run a masterclass on Thursday at 1 p.m. Sydney time, which is 8 p.m. LA on Wednesday. We're going to go through knowing your numbers, and the links are in the name of this live stream. So jump in there. If you have any questions about it, let me know. We'll go for about an hour. There'll be a spreadsheet that you get. You'll go and input your numbers, and it'll just help you again gain some clarity, some perspective, and so that you can start making some sound decisions, not just sound financial decisions, but sound business decisions. And let's face it, we all want to still be in business in 3 months and in 6 months time, right? So let's keep the motherfucking lights on. You can see the link in there, and we're going to do that on Thursday or Wednesday if you're in the US or in the UK. Okay, so that is that. If you register and you can't attend live, I will send you the recording of it, so don't stress about that. So the bottom line is simplify, make it easy, make it accessible. All right, so I'm going to set you free about your day. I'm going to go and attempt to finish my chapter 6. I am in the guts of chapter 6, writing chapter 6 right now of Into the Spotlight, and I'm really excited because we're getting into kind of like the nitty gritty stuff. So I'm going to go and do that. Probably also going to do a bit of painting today. Love me a good painting project. So get out there, go help some people. Remember that you are absolutely amazing. Have fun, and remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. I will talk with you tomorrow, if not before. Bye.